Hello there. You're listening to the Box Office Show. I'm Ryan Hill.
And I'm Dylan Johnson. Today we're going to talk about the box office numbers from last weekend and our box office predictions for this upcoming weekend.
We will also be revealing the results to the 2025 box office draft, which turned out to be an absolute nail biter. It is by far the closest draft we have ever had.
I don't know who won. I could guess, but I knew it was going to be close, and I haven't done the math. I intentionally don't do the math because I wait for you to do the reveal because I know you like to reveal it.
Sure.
So I genuinely have no idea who won. I'm pretty sure it's you though.
It'll be a fun going through the way, because the whole year it was extremely close, which normally never happens either. Like normally it's just a clear blowout one way, and then maybe something happens at the very end. But this whole time it was neck and neck, and then even in the final films to be released, they were the deciders. So yeah, it was very, very interesting. But yeah, so we'll talk about it. We'll unveil the winner. But first, let's do our box. Actually, we got some news. Let's talk about some news. So, first off, Jason Statham stole my bike. That is a film coming to you in the next few years, starring none other than Jason Statham. So, what do you think about these meta action comedies?
I think it's fine. I think it's about time Jason Statham came back into the zeitgeist. He's been doing some B action movies for a while, including an actual B action movie where he played a beekeeper. And I'm looking forward to his return to the big screen, the big screen. The A-list movies. I like Jason Statham.
I mean, someone say he's already there. He's been pumping out every January for the past few years. He's been pumping out some kind of action film, as you said.
Again,
movie films, but still,
these are not the. It's the same formula every time. This is not. Sure. This is not the movie that I'm looking for.
Which, on one hand, I can respect, but he doesn't even try to put on an accent or anything. It's just him playing the same guy. Every time.
Exactly.
So that'll be interesting to see. Him taking the piss out of his whole niche he's come up with, but it's been successful. Again, The Beekeeper 2, I think, is coming out as well. It's in the works, so
great.
People have been enjoying it, so he's going to keep making them. But now we're going to get this new little twist on it as well.
Yeah, in other news, The Mummy 4 has been announced. Fuck you, Tom Cruise. Brendan Fraser is back. We are getting a return of Brendan Fraser and Rachel Weisz to a new Mummy film. I've only seen the first Mummy with Brendan Fraser. I have not seen the second one, or the third one. But let me tell you, I really like the first one. I think it's really good. So I'm looking forward to seeing their return. I'm looking forward to see what they can do. If they're gonna, reboot any franchise, maybe not reboot. What's the term?
Legacy sequel.
Legacy sequel. This is a good legacy sequel. Yeah.
I'll be interested to dive into the franchise. I'm sure we'll do an episode on it.
Absolutely.
2.5 years time when The Mummy 4 is about to come out. So I'm looking forward to that. That'll be fun.
We're almost 30 years old. Man, we're going to be old.
To include the Scorpion King as well, of course.
Of course.
All right. So now let's dive into the box office breakdown for February 6th to the 8th, which of course was Super Bowl weekend. Remaining in the top spot was Sam Raimi's Send Help with 9 million.
After that was Kevin James's Solo Mio with 7 million.
I believe he was at the Super Bowl in character. So
sounds right.
Maybe I got some people to go out and watch it, but not too bad of an opening, honestly. And then in third place, we had Iron Lung with 6 million.
And then Stray Kids, The Dominate Experience.
I didn't even write down the gross. I was just so shocked. I looked up. I was like, what is this? So I looked
at unknown amount made.
Means. So I didn't even go back and write down the amount. So somewhere between 4 million and 6 million is what Stray Kids, The Dominate Experience. But apparently it's a K-pop band or something. So, yeah, I was just like, what is this? But yeah, it was able to make it into the top 5. Dracula with 4.4 million.
Zootopia 2 still in the top 10 with 4 million.
The Strangers Chapter 3 with 3.4 million. I think it's about where we had put it. Again, this is its debut, and it is quite low on the list.
Indeed. Avatar Fire and Ash, 3.4 million.
Shelter, talking about Jason Statham, at 2.4 million.
And rounding out the top 10, Melania with 2.3 million.
Indeed. All right. Box office predictions for February 13th to the 15th. Valentine's Day weekend, also President's Day weekend. We've got Wuthering Heights. We've got Goat. We've got Crime 101. We also have a Gore Verbinski film. So a lot of stuff coming out. I think it's pretty clear, though, Wuthering Heights is going to be on top. But what do you think it'll get in its opening?
I think it'll do pretty damn good. I think the lovers are going to come out for Valentine's Day. I'm going to go with 22 million.
22 million. Okay. For the 3-day?
Oh, for the 3-day. For the 3-day, yeah. For the 4-day, I'll give it like 26, 27.
Okay. I'll go higher than that. I think it'll break 30 mil for the 3-day.
Okay.
We'll see. Right. It'll hope to go over 40 mil for the 4-day, but that might be too much. Again, I think, the biggest business will be at Friday and Saturday, I would say. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, we'll see where that lands. How about Goat? Animated film about, I believe, a basketball player who is a goat trying to become the goat.
Yeah. I suppose, I think less than 20, if I'm being honest with you.
Okay.
I haven't seen that many ads for it. I don't see many people excited for it. And Zootopia 2 is still out, even though it's it's not like in the top 5 or anything. It's still competition in terms of family films. So I don't know. I think Goat's gonna make like 18 or 19 maybe at the most.
Yeah, I think it'll be in that range, which is pretty good for that that opening. All things considered. So yeah, I think it'll get the family audience this weekend. And then Crime 101, starring Chris Hemsworth, Halle Berry, Mark Ruffalo, among others. So what do you think this one's going to get? A little
I think it breaks 100 million.
100 mil.
No, seriously. I think maybe 13 or 14 maybe at most.
Okay.
I don't think the star power is enough to bring people in.
Gotcha. Okay.
It just feels very generic. It feels very like unoriginal. It feels kind of I hate to say boring, but it just when I watch the trailers, it feels kind of boring. I'm not gonna lie.
Dang,
it feels stale.
Brutal.
I mean, we'll see. We'll see what the reviews say. We'll see what the people say. I'm probably not gonna watch it, but hey, maybe it's good. I'm not one to usually, shit on a movie before I see it, but I've seen the trailers and I don't know. It just isn't. It's not winning me over.
I mean, yeah, you can speak to your vibes on the trailers. I mean, they're supposed to sell it to you. If it didn't, then it might be a problem for this box office weekend. But I do think it's a good thing that we got all different types of films coming out. I think it's
I agree.
Sign of a healthy box office. We'll hope to see a lot of over performances and strong debuts, but we will see where these numbers actually land. But yeah, a good weekend.
We will see.
All right. Now it is time for the box office draft 2025 edition, which is what, our 5th?
I think so. We started in 2020, which was we didn't do 2020. There was
we did 2021.
Yeah. 21, 22, 23, 24. Yeah, this is the 5th one.
So our 5th. Okay. Very good. So let's take it back.
What are the standings of our drafts? Who's won which ones? Do you remember? Do you have that list up?
We'll check in with that at the end.
Let's do that. I want to see what the rankings are.
And then of course we'll have our Oscar draft, which is right around the corner.
Oh yeah.
For this current year. But let's take it back to 1 year ago when we did our selections. It was me who won the coin toss. And so my first pick was Avatar: Fire and Ash.
And then my first pick was Zootopia 2.
My second pick, Jurassic World Rebirth.
My second pick was Michael, the Michael Jackson biopic.
Mm-hmm. My next selection, Wicked for Good.
My third pick, Minecraft.
My fourth, Lilo and Stitch, the live action adaptation.
After Minecraft, I picked How to Train Your Dragon, the live action adaptation.
And then my fifth and final pick was DCU's Superman.
And my final pick was Mission Impossible 8.
Mm-hmm. Now, Dylan's list has had a bit of a shakeup since that point.
Quite a bit of a shakeup.
So Michael did not come out this year, as everyone is aware of. So
correct.
That had to get dropped. And then Mission Impossible 8, you also dropped off your list. So your replacements were?
They were, I believe I picked F1 to replace Mission Impossible at the last second.
Mm-hmm.
And then replacing Michael, I picked Fantastic Four: First Steps.
Indeed. So that was how things shook out. My list stayed the same, but yours had some shifts. So we'll see what effect that had, if any. But let's go through chronologically the year again, just to see this snapshot of how it all played out.
Yeah.
So our first film, I believe in March or maybe very early April, was a Minecraft movie.
Yep.
Famously, your beloved film.
I hate this movie. It was my least favorite movie last year. But this movie blew up. It was huge. Worldwide, it made $961 million. I almost said 1,000. $961 million. Blew up. Almost crossed $1 billion. It was so close.
And domestically, it is still the number one movie of last year.
Yep.
424 million domestic, beating Lilo and Stitch domestically by 1 million.
Ha! That's awesome.
We'll see if that holds. We'll talk about that soon enough. But yeah, at least as of this recording, where we lock things in for 2025, Minecraft is on top domestically.
Indeed.
So, quite crazy.
Yep. And then later in that same month, at the beginning of May, I believe, my next movie came out, Mission Impossible. I was looking forward to it. Mission Impossible 8, it's the end of the franchise, supposedly. You know, you and I were both pumped for it based on how the last one was. We were hyped to see what happened. I think ultimately we had some qualms with it, but we had a good time. You can go back and listen to our review of it if you wanted to. But the world, I think this is one of the highest Mission Impossibles grossing. It's up there. It did much better than the last one did.
And not too much better.
Not too much.
Sort of in the same boat, because that one made over 500 mil, but not too much more.
Mm-hmm. This one made just shy of 600 million. Made 598 million, which was pretty good. This was, my last pick. For a last pick, I think 600 million is pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll see.
It was definitely a solid choice.
Ultimately, yeah, it would have benefited you to keep it, but not by much. It wouldn't have changed anything, but yeah, it ultimately had a solid performance, all things considered. It came out the same exact weekend as Lilo and Stitch. So it was a good head-to-head in late May. Lilo and Stitch came out roaring and then was able to reach $1 billion.
Crazy. Dude, I watched this movie. It's not good. It's not a good movie. I can't believe it made $1 billion. I'm pissed.
Dude,
Especially because... Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was just going to say, I remember I listened to the solo episode you did while I was in Europe. I was on a train, I think, in France, coming down from Normandy back to Paris. And yeah, so I was just listening to your thoughts on Lilo and Stitch. You weren't.
I dogged on it pretty hard.
Weren't the biggest fan, and I was like, oh, interesting. No. But I was aware, at the moment it was a hit. So I'm like, nice. It's doing what it needs to do on the box office front, which is great. Again, I never went to go see it, so I didn't even support it as far as the box office is concerned. But I was like, at least it's doing well out there, despite your reservations about it.
Yeah. I mean, it still made good money. Congratulations, Disney. I just can't believe this movie did so well. And my next movie, How to Train Your Dragon, also a live action adaptation of a very popular animated franchise, did not do nearly as well. It only made 636 million.
Yeah, which is pretty good. Again, all things considered, I did not expect it to get over 600 mil, but yeah, as far as an adaptation, it did really, really solidly. It's the first DreamWorks adaptation, of course, of their probably most beloved animated trilogy. People love the How to Train Your Dragon films, so they're really solid. It got a sequel, and again, I think it overperformed what I was expecting it to, which was maybe 500 mil. And then even when it was out there doing its run, it was able to climb to 630 mil, and I thought it was going to stop out around 600 mil. So yeah,
Right.
had a really solid performance. And then this one as well. This was one that I saw in France, so I did support this one. Did you ever go see it? I don't even think
No,
you
I
did.
didn't even see it. We watched each other's live action adaptations.
Yeah, it's funny.
It evened out.
So yeah, it was a solid film. Again, I need to compare it to the animated films because I still have not watched any of them. But yeah, it was great, dude. Him flying around with that dragon,
it's cool.
Dope scene, incredible. Yeah. That score hitting in that moment.
It's good in the animated one too. Yeah,
I bet
it's a good story. I like it. I think it's fun.
So then,
at this point,
at the end of summer is when. So I came back. We started doing the show again, and then we had to do our box office draft update, where we had to, see where things stood, but then also see what we were going to do about your roster. Because by this point, we knew Michael was no longer going to be on the docket for this.
Tragic.
Year. Which, by the way, again, in that episode, in the draft, I had told you, I was like, I'm amazed you're picking it second, first of all. Like, you picked it pretty early on. And I was like, they've got all these illegal troubles. Like, they're having to reshoot the film, the third act. They don't know what they're doing. So they may not come out this year. Sure enough.
You're right. It got pushed.
It did not.
I genuinely believe, legal troubles aside, had it been dropped this year, had they not had to push it for the reshoots, I think it could have made 800 million.
Wow.
I genuinely believe that. Now, not so much. It's losing its steam a little bit. It's been so long. Just because I think Michael Jackson's such a staying power globally. Like, I think the global numbers would have brought it up a lot. I don't know if it would have done that well domestically compared to some of the other movies on this roster, but I think it would have overall been a good pick. But now I think it's losing a bit of steam. I don't know if they're even able to, like, aren't they splitting it into two parts?
I don't know. I don't think they know yet. I think they're going to see what happens in this first one. But yeah, again, I would be compelled by if they did a two-parter version, one of the earlier years and one of the later, but the later ones would just be more of a drag, right? Because he was out of the limelight for a bit. He had the trial, the whole vertigo, is that what they call it, right? Like that thing, which would be interesting to see play out.
I don't think they're going to show the trial in his biopic. They usually tend to avoid the worst parts of their careers in these biopics.
That's why they had to reshoot it, because they were planning to show at least some part of the trial, which is crazy because that adds controversy. I mean, it's one of the biggest talking points to this day still is like, what was this guy doing with children? So
yeah,
it's wild, especially in this environment too. The post Epstein thing, having that come up where you're gonna outright defend Michael, which you're gonna have to do. I mean, the state is making it. They're obviously not gonna make him seem like he was the bad guy, so they're gonna try and vindicate him. But yeah, I don't know that would play out. So honestly, it could work out in its favor if it's like, okay, we just get Michael Jackson starting out and then him in the 80s, killing it. Everyone loves him, Thriller, all that stuff. And then we cut, I don't know if there's a major concert around that time. When was it wasn't Live Aid, but it was, what was that one where him and everyone else got together? It's like the big charity.
We Are the World?
We Are the World, yeah. They ended with that. Positive, uplifting, everyone united. And there hasn't been a global concert type thing or all the artists getting together to release a song like that since then, which is kind of surprising. And so they ended on that. Could be a feel-good movie with Michael Jackson.
What do you mean? During COVID, they did the they did the video in COVID. What do you mean?
Yeah, the Imagine.
Yeah, that counts.
Yeah. Well, for a different reason that's pretty iconic. But yeah, I would say maybe it's a blessing in disguise that they had to rework it, and if they could find a way to avoid the controversy and just have it be hyped up Michael Jackson songs. But I don't know. We'll see. I guess that'll be something to revisit in our 2026 draft, whether or not we think it has any potential juice. But for 2025, it was off the table. So that's when you had to repick. And in that same episode, I don't think you did pick it, but we talked about the possible need for you to pick something to replace Mission Impossible 8. So you ended up doing that. You had F1, which came out shortly thereafter. So how did F1 do?
F1 made $633 million. So it was just shy. It pretty much made the same amount of time as Train Your Dragon. I think this was a good replacement for Mission Impossible. I think that was my idea, was replacing Mission Impossible. I mean, I kind of swapped 2 movies for 2 movies, so you can't say which one swapped which one. But we're going to say it like that because if I say Fantastic Four swapped out for Mission Impossible, it's going to make me sad.
Yeah.
But F1 did better than Mission Impossible. So good swap. Good choice to move those out. Overall, I thought it would make more. It was on my list of movies to potentially pick from when we were originally doing the roster. I think it was on yours too because of how good Top Gun Maverick did.
Top Gun Maverick.
And so, we were like the legacy, or it's not a legacy sequel, but like just the staying power of Brad Pitt's stardom and the popularity of the F1 franchise and everything around that. I just thought maybe it would do more. I was hoping it would get closer to 750, maybe 800, but it did not, unfortunately. And it stalled out around 633. But it is nominated for Best Picture, so it means something.
Yeah, I think in all the context considered, because racing movies tend to not do very well at all. Like this technically, it's the number 1 grossing sports movie of all time now. So like when you take it in context of how these types of movies have done in the past, it actually is pretty incredible as its debut. It was also Apple TV's first real big success as far as
but how much they paid to make that movie?
Well, it was a lot, but you have to also think, I mean, they probably got a lot of deals. I mean, every car, every suit that they have, right, is just littered with ads for companies.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
The real F1. Yeah. And so I'm sure there's all sorts of factors like that at play where F1, the organization, and all the sponsors for F1 are also footing the bill a little bit for this film. So I don't know. I'm sure it was still well over 200 mil, but probably not as bad financially as it may seem from the jump. And then as far as, again, like the future of it, I don't know if they're going to get a sequel. I don't know what's going on with that, but I think, it only helped the F1 brand overall. And then 633 million again. No other racing movie comes close. No other sports movie really comes close. So, I think a big success for them. Again, it could have been, Top Gun Maverick. No one anticipated 1.5 billion for that. F1 could have, the conditions were there where it could have had that same breakout status. It didn't quite get there, but still, it was a hit. So, a good choice there. My following film, the one that came right after that, was Jurassic World Rebirth with 869 million. So we knew this was going to happen, right? We knew there was going to be a drop off from the previous Jurassic World film.
Right.
That's how each of them played out since 2015's Jurassic World. However, I would have liked this to get closer to 900 mil, to be honest.
Yeah, that's pretty.
Even 950.
Yeah.
But I did say, I was like, this will get over 800. It did. It certainly did. But yeah, we've seen these diminishing returns. I don't know if this is going to turn it around. I think you and I both are kind of like, we submitted to the stupidity of this. And so I thought at least a few portions of it were pretty fun.
Yeah, I enjoyed it for the most part, I think I leaned into just enjoying it. I still think the shot of the helicopter coming through the mist and it's in the T-Rex's jaws, as ridiculous as that is, considering how big that dinosaur would have to be to have a helicopter in its jaws, still think the shot's cool. It's a cool concept.
Very dope. Yeah. Gareth Edwards does have a touch with showcasing scale on screen. So
very true.
Some good shots in that.
Absolutely.
But yeah, so again, very solid hit, one of the highest grossing films of the year for sure. I just wish it would have had a little bit more. Yeah. And same thing with my next film, Superman. So that came out towards the end of July. It actually did really well domestically. Like I think I can double check in a second here, but domestically it performed really well. But normally what you want to have happen is like a 7/30 split, right? Like
for superhero
internationally you get 70% and then domestically you get 30%. It's usually with all blockbusters especially. Yeah. But with Superman it was kind of 50-50. It may have even been domestic more than international, which just speaks to I think just the brand damage on DC perhaps. Again, Aquaman was propelled by, it did well domestically, but internationally it did huge numbers. I think China was a big factor in that. We've just seen internationally, especially in China, like the superhero films do not hit as they once did. And so, I mean, we'll talk about this with your next film. Yeah. We didn't even have Thunderbolts. We didn't even consider it, either of us, in our draft, right? Which is unheard of, right? It was a Marvel film. Like our first 2021 draft, I think the majority of our films were superhero films, or at least almost half. In this case, we were leaving superhero films off the table because we just knew it's not what it once was. I thought Superman, it being so iconic, and it having the fresh blood of James Gunn coming in, him having a great track record with superhero films, would help boost it, get it closer to those Guardians of the Galaxy numbers. But no, again, think of how crazy that is. Guardians of the Galaxy, the first one, made more than Superman. Yeah. Like that it speaks to how MCU was popping in that day and how DC's been damaged over this past decade and a half.
Absolutely. But, tough.
But yeah, so again, it was well received. People generally liked it. It did really well domestically, but internationally it just didn't catch on.
Yeah.
And so it made $618 million, which is solid. But again, I was hoping, and this was my fifth pick, but I was hoping, it would have a little bit of that goodwill propelling it to 750 million. But alas, it did not get there.
Indeed. And then my next movie that came out was Fantastic Four: First Steps, to kind of round out that summer season or the beginning of the fall season. And man, I was really thinking that this would do better. I'm not gonna lie. It's MCU. It's the Fantastic Four. People have been dying for a good Fantastic Four movie since the first one came out. And I thought that it was like decent enough. I put it at a similar level to my enjoyment of Superman. I know other people like Superman quite a bit more. I don't think I've heard anybody that said they like Fantastic Four more, but I put them at about the same. And so for it to be $100 million shy of Superman was a little devastating, especially because it's MCU. It's still connected to the massive universe as opposed to Superman, which is starting its own universe. It's a little bit disconnected and not as desirable in that regard. But I mean, MCU, their brand has just been hurt drastically over the last 3 years, just pumping out mediocre movie after mediocre movie after mediocre movie, and not having a very well thought out, sustained, overarching thread to their storyline anymore. It's absolutely brutal. And with everything people knew that Fantastic Four setting up Avengers Doomsday, people still didn't come out to see it, which makes me worried about. I'm sure Spider-Man's gonna knock it out of the fucking park. It's Spider-Man, but I'm worried about Avengers Doomsday.
Still no trailer. I think it's supposed to come out in a couple months.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's Spider-Man. They're gonna make $750 million at least. It's Spider-Man. But Avengers Doomsday, I don't know. I mean, it's an Avengers movie. They're bringing back the old cast, which is definitely
come on. That'll be an event for sure. It's just these build-up things, like they tried to do with Quantumania, that didn't work.
Thunderbolts, it didn't work. Fantastic Four didn't work. So they only made $521 million for Fantastic Four,
indeed,
which is about 150 shy of what I thought it was going to make. I was putting it in like the like closer to 700 million. I think I wrote down 700 million on the paper for like Fantastic Four because I thought that was the floor.
Yeah, and I thought
very well underperformed.
It was going to go somewhere around 500 mil, which ended up still surpassing that. So I still think it's late legs or pretty solid to get it.
I guess.
An extra 20 mil, but
I thought it would make more.
yeah, I didn't see it. But yeah, the Superman and Fantastic Four, like which one, them going head to head, sort of new directions for both companies. It was going to be interesting to see how it played out. As an update, so domestically, Superman made 354 million. So it was a 57%
domestic. That's crazy.
Towards domestic, which is insane. Like that's unheard of. Like if I could go try and find each of our movies on here just to show, at least the ones we already talked about, just to show like what a normal blockbuster would look like. Oh, show me this. Oh, yeah, so Lilo and Stitch, 40% domestic, 60% international. Yeah. Minecraft movie, 44% domestic, 55% international. Jurassic World, 40% domestic, 60% international. Like that's normally how it's supposed to be in this like global, world that we have.
Yeah, 60-40 split favoring the international.
How to Train Your Dragon, 41 domestic, 58 international. F1, see, this is the case where the international we knew was going to be a bigger factor. It was 30% domestic, 70% international. So yeah, normally, the 40-60 split is kind of what you want to see. Some cases you might get something crazy. Again, Top Gun Maverick, you'll get a 50-50 split, but your domestic is just so crazy.
It's huge 50-50.
700 million, which is out of this world.
Yeah.
So
normally I will never forgive either of us for not picking Top Gun Maverick in that draft.
I mean, no one knew. There were inklings. Again, I was like getting more hyped, and I was like, we have to put this on the schedule. We weren't even going to talk about it in like the show, but then I was like, nah, we gotta have this on here. But we have it recorded, our like projections, and it was way off. It made 130 something in its opening. I think the predictions were like 50 mil. I think I was the highest, and I put like 70 mil, and I was like, it's a long shot, but it'll get there. Dude, it was insane. Like no one could have thought that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so everyone's chasing. You've had that, the Barbie thing. I don't think anyone expected 1.3 or 4 billion, whatever it got to.
I didn't think we'd make that much. I heard the hype coming because Barbenheimer was the hype train, and I was like, this could be a big deal for me. And so I grabbed Oppenheimer at the last second in addition to Barbie, but I pulled Barbie out of my ass right in the beginning. I was like, I think it was my fifth pick. I think it was my last pick. It was my wild card. And I was like, I'm just going to grab a random one. This could like sink me, or it could do okay. I didn't think it was going to be one of, if not it was one of the highest grossing movies of that year behind an animated film. I don't remember which one.
So we'll have to see if something like that ever happens again, where like it's completely off our radar and then somehow lands not only in the top 10, but like top 3 of the year.
Yeah.
Because that was 2022. So it only got beat out by Avatar. So
yes,
that was insane performance, but it's great. Like having those surprises are awesome. But yeah, so Superman, I don't know what happened internationally. Had it been more of a 40-60 split, that would have been so good for me. It would have hit that 750, 800 mil type range. So
yeah,
that was unfortunate, but it did become the highest grossing. Again, think of this: 618 million. It's the highest grossing superhero film of the year. That's crazy. That is truly shocking. All right. So then our totals thus far, my 3 films that came out put me at $2.525 billion.
And the 4 that I have out, the 4 that I've collectively cobbled together from my like 7, is $2,752,000,000. So I am about $220 million above you at this point in the draft, right at the end of blockbuster season.
Exactly. So our final batch, it was essentially, our November into December, all the like holiday type films. I had Wicked come out, and you had Zootopia come out for Thanksgiving.
I will let you know now that at this point, even though that I'm ahead of you, I was like, I'm sunk. Like it's over. It's done. You have Avatar coming out, and I did not have strong faith in Zootopia, and I knew Wicked for Good would make enough combined with Avatar to overcome whatever gap I might put in there with Zootopia. And I was like, I'm done.
Yeah.
Because I did not think Zootopia would do very well.
Well, we knew it would do huge, at least $1 billion, but we were like, how high is it going to get? How crazy is it going to be?
And again, in this case, in this situation where you have Avatar, $1 billion is not enough. So I was like, I'm done.
Exactly. Yeah. But
$1 billion's not even close.
As we'll talk about, Zootopia did do what it needed to do to keep things close in striking distance, because it had a massive performance internationally in the way that it needed it to. So Wicked for Good had 527 million, which is quite a bit lower than the 740 million that the original Wicked had, which I was shocked about. But
yeah,
it got over Fantastic Four at least.
Yeah.
So it wasn't the lowest grossing. So I'm like, okay. So I reshifted. I was like, I thought Wicked was going to be a comparison to, How to Train Your Dragon or something like that. But then I was like, okay, if it matches and exceeds Fantastic Four, then that's okay. That can be my fifth highest grossing film. We're still good.
Mm-hmm. I'm surprised it made so little compared to the first one. It's a huge.
I know. I guess what they say about Act 2 of that play, I guess, people were wise to it, and they were like, all right, forget this.
I when they announced it was going to be 2 movies, I knew it was a mistake. I was like, all the good songs are front loaded. This is ridiculous. This is a stupid idea. To split it into 2 movies is so fucking dumb. But then Zootopia 2 comes out. And again, leading into that weekend, I'm like, I don't even check the box office numbers at the end of the weekend, I don't think, because I'm like, there's just nothing I can do. I'm like, I'm fucked. Like, this is over. Avatar's gonna make $2 billion again. Zootopia 2 made $1.8 billion at the end of its run. Insane.
It's still putting on
far exceeding my expectations.
But this is crazy because
we far exceeded my expectations.
Knew 1 billion, right? The first Zootopia got $1 billion. We knew this one is gonna do something similar. But then there's also the Inside Out 2 factor.
Yeah,
right? We just saw that from last year.
Exactly.
Like, okay, maybe
so I think I put it when I made my prediction. I think I put 1.1 or 1.2 billion.
Yeah,
I think it was my predictions.
We were saying, okay, it could have that Inside Out 2 factor. What if it gets up to 1.6 bill, 1.7 bill, maybe? You're like, it would be the greatest overperformance it could have.
Mm-hmm.
But it would still, not be crazy enough to overcome Avatar. But it would be like a great overperformance. And it was. And talk about domestic foreign split. Specifically, China went crazy for this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy. Right now, it is a 23%, 77% split. 23% domestic, 77% international.
Crazy.
So it made well over 1.35, 1.4 billion international.
China has a bunch of furries, I guess.
650 million of that is China, which I don't know if this ever happened, where for a Hollywood film, the Chinese box office is bigger than the domestic box office by a lot, by like 200 million. Like, that is just with Avatar films, the Endgame films, obviously, they were huge in China as well as here. But domestically, it was always greater than the Chinese box office. Not the case with Zootopia. They went crazy for this film.
Yeah, China is becoming a dominating factor in the box office in a way that I did not anticipate, especially with animated films. Look at Ne Zha 2.
Yeah. I mean,
they're crazy.
We'll talk about that one in a bit, but obviously not eligible for our draft.
Unfortunately.
In this case, the way China plays out, I mean, we wouldn't have picked it. It definitely wouldn't have been on our radars. We'd been like, what? Ne Zha 2. So yeah, it's crazy because over the past few years, our strategies have changed. It feels like China has definitely become less friendly to Hollywood films, but it can still have an impact with the few franchises that they love, Avatar being one of them, and then Zootopia apparently being the other that they will go and see nonstop. Because
they love the kids' movies. I'm telling you, for whatever reason, there's like a lot of sentimentality, I guess, over older Disney and Pixar films.
I suppose so. So yeah, shocking overperformance from Zootopia 2. Again, the highest grossing, it beat out Inside Out 2.
Yeah.
So take away Ne Zha 2. Zootopia 2 is now the highest grossing animated film of all time. Yeah. So crazy year after year. We were able to get that record broken. And then as far as Big Jim,
Big Jim, how do you do?
We knew Avatar was like the cheat code in the box office drafts. Man has
Yeah,
pumped
for
out
real.
$3 billion films in a row. Titanic made over $1 billion. Avatar made over $1 billion. Avatar 2 made over $1 billion. All of these currently, their current grosses are over $2 billion. So that's insane. His past 3 films collectively over $6 billion. I think getting actually across $7 billion. That's wild. That is wild. So Avatar 3, I'm thinking we're gonna do it again, baby. 1 billion easy, guaranteed.
Easy, absolutely.
And then I think I had said 1.5 billion floor once again, easy. Then
I would have agreed with that. Yeah, I think I agree with that at the time.
Getting to 2 billion. I'm like, we're getting there. We're going 3-peat with 2 billion for Avatar.
Absolutely.
That was not the case,
dude.
That was not the case at all. The underperformance here is kind of crazy. I did not expect this. I know Big Jim did not expect this. So again, what incredible performance of this film, without a doubt. Again, it's 1.4 billion. We're talking about that like it's an underperformance. Any other franchise, you know, I guess we'll see with Avengers Doomsday what that'll get, and what we'll call a disappointment, whatever it ends up being. But for a franchise to get 1.4 billion and that being like not only shocking but disappointing just speaks to how amazing his success was, and therefore how high our expectations were. So we were like, oh, this has to get 1.5 billion.
Yeah. You should know that I also, had I won the coin toss, Avatar would have been my first pick, 100%.
Yeah, why wouldn't you? You'd be crazy not to. You'd be crazy not to.
After the last one made over $2 billion, easy? Like,
yeah. It made 2.3 billion.
Yeah, exactly. It crossed 2 like in a breeze and then had legs to go past it. Like, insane numbers.
Now the factors to consider would be, okay, so it's not as long of a wait. The nostalgia factor won't quite as be there, won't be there as much. But it's still.
And if you didn't connect with the second one, you're not willing to watch the franchise, you know, because the gap between the first and the second one, you could argue the nostalgia is there, A, and B, the story is going to be a little different because that was a standalone film. Now they're continuing it into a franchise. This is a direct sequel to Avatar 2, where the story is being continuously told. If you didn't vibe with that second movie, you can pretty much bet you're not going to vibe with the second one. However, if you didn't vibe with the first one, you might like the second one, because it's been so long and it's just a continuation of the story with such a big time gap that there is perhaps, you know, a new plot that you might vibe with, which there was. And then you and I both witnessed Avatar Fire and Ash kind of being a rehash of the second movie's plots in a lot of ways. We talked about that in our episode.
It was very long.
We talked about a very long, kind of at times a boring factor for parts of it, and then not really a crazy. Like the second one had a lot of hype around it because he spent so long developing the CGI technology to make it look incredible. That hype isn't there as much for this one because there's no hype around any new technologies. It's the same stuff he's been using for the last one. So the technology factor isn't as much of a hype thing either. So the hype was obviously down. You and I both probably would have predicted that it would make less than Avatar 2. I think if we were just randomly guessing at the beginning of this, is most likely going to make less. At least I would have. But I thought it was going to settle around what Zootopia 2 settled around, 1.8, maybe 1.9. And I thought it would be lucky if it crossed 2, but it's possible. So for it to get under 1.5, less than Top Gun Maverick?
I know. I mean, it'll pass Top Gun Maverick by the end of its run, but
sure,
yeah, it'll top out at 1.5 bill, which I guess, hey, that's the floor. But it's shocking that it had such an underperformance. But I mean, yeah, because that one also had a trailer that came out very late compared to The Way of Water when it came out. I mean, even me, like, I love Avatar, the original one. You know, I've been a longtime defender of that, especially when it was getting all those allegations of, oh, no, you know, cultural imprint, no one cares, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, wrong, I care. And 2, The Way of Water, I was pumped for that. Again, the trailer, I think I put as my like favorite trailer of that year when we do our little Boxy Awards or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I was pumped for that thing. I was like, I'm so invested, can't wait. And then with Fire and Ash, I was seeing the trailers and I'm like, okay, it looks kind of cool, but I was not as dialed in as I was for that first one. I think that was just kind of the way most audiences felt. It didn't feel as event film oriented. it didn't seem as fresh and new as the Weight Water part of it was. I just don't think they leaned into the fire and ash part enough. So that was even aside from like seeing the film and seeing how a lot of the elements were apparently recycled from the earlier films. So I think that just diminished the possible turnout of the film. So we were stunned by its underperformance. Again, I thought it was going to be a done deal, easy dub because of Avatar Fire and Ash, but because of its underperformance, it brought things much, much closer, which is wild to see. So the margin of victory was 62 million, which is by really far tight. The closest, by far. Yeah, the closest. This is all really, as of really tight race. The end. So as of the weekend that we just covered in the box office breakdown. So as of February 11th, all these numbers, again, they have been growing. As you see, they both put on like 20 mil, 25 mil, both of our rosters, but it's kind of the same. So yeah, and we have to, we cut it off.
You have to have a cutoff, yeah.
Anyway, so.
Because, I mean, if that was the case, Avatar would just keep growing as it gets re-released each time.
Exactly. We come back in 5 years, we revisit, and we're like, so Avatar Fire and Ash finally was able to break 1.6 billion.
Yeah.
So change the margin there.
Very tight margin of difference there. That's crazy. Yeah. Who's the winner? Announce it.
So the totals are, with me, I had $4.494 billion.
Pretty good.
Which is quite massive. And we'll do our fun facts for everything and go over what the
of course,
how this compares to prior years.
Yep.
But again, this was our biggest and closest year yet. Very exciting stuff. And then your margin, which you could possibly do the math here, but your total was 4.556 billion.
Yes.
Meaning Dylan Johnson. Congratulations.
Let's go.
You have won the 2025 box office draft.
I can't believe I won. That's crazy. Oh my God, dude. When we did the draft last year, I looked at it and I said, I'm so fucked. He has Avatar and Jurassic World and Wicked. I'm going to kill myself. And Lilo and Stitch. I was like, I'm so fucked. I can't believe I won. Thank you, China. Thank you, Zootopia 2.
I can't
Let's
believe
fucking go.
That people are more attracted to a bunny than to the Na'vi.
I can't believe that either. China's full of furries, and Judy I won because of them.
Over and over and over again.
I won because of the furries. Let's go. I can't
believe it.
Dude, I can't believe I won. This is so hype. This is making my day right now. This is the best news that you could have ever given me. Oh my God. I thought I was going to lose. I never
What did you think when you saw, were you trying to do the calculations when you saw Wicked, Zootopia, and Avatar?
I did the math in my head and I was like, I'm pretty sure I won. Did I? Like, I did the math in my head. I was like, I won by like a little bit, but the margin was close. And I was like, maybe I'm doing the math wrong in my head. Maybe there's like a surprise factor coming here at the end that he's going to sweep it by. I was like,
I wanted that to throw you off a little bit because I didn't want you, because I'm like, you could do the math and just like figure it out.
I did the math in my head and I was like, I'm pretty sure I won, but I don't know. Like something could happen. The margin was so close doing the math in my head. I was like, it seems like I won by like 50 million, but that's really close. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's so awesome.
You certainly did.
God. I barely won, dude.
Again, because seeing the first couple weekends of Avatar, I was like, oh no. So I wrote in my notes, I put down, I said, as of January 10th, this is when I started like eagle eye watching this. Because I knew the nail biter was coming up. I was like, my total is 4.15 billion. His is 4.343 billion, which was the difference of 193 million. There were 3 weekends to go.
It's close.
Which means there was like 4 weekends that we had. But then I was like, Avatar 3 needs to catch up by 200 million. And then offset whatever remaining funds Zootopia 2 is going to get. And then I said, by golly, we got a nail biter. So I was like, this is the problem. Because I needed to catch up, first of all.
Yeah.
I needed to like close the gap.
Surpass.
But then I needed to still outpace Zootopia 2. Because what I was saying at the time was, I was like, Zootopia is doing crazy internationally, especially in China.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, what's going on? Like, is it going to be able to catch up? I knew it was going to be able to make 200 million, right? Without a doubt.
Sure.
But
how much would
I was like,
Zootopia 2
Zootopia
make
2 is going to make
time?
a lot of money still. Because at this time, it was Avatar, I think, was just at 1 bill. And Zootopia 2 is at like 1.6 bill. I was like, what are we doing? Like, it's got to be able. And I was coping so hard. Bro. I was like, let's check all the different powers. I'm like, if Avatar only makes 600 million more, okay, we win by 100 mil, easy. But the numbers kept diminishing. Like,
dude.
Okay, maybe Avatar's only going to make 300 million more, which is ultimately what it did at that time,
dude.
And then I wrote, as of February 1st, I came in. I wrote the difference is 68 million. By this point, I knew I had made peace. I had made peace with it weeks ago. I was like, I'll see what this weekend does. But the difference is starting to grow in your favor because Zootopia, as you noticed from this weekend, made more than Avatar domestically.
Yeah,
it's also making more in China than Avatar is over there. So I'm like, now Zootopia is outgrowing Avatar. Like, what the heck is happening? The margin is going in your favor. So I'm like, what the heck?
It is.
So
I can't believe this happened. This is insane. I never, in my wildest dreams, since the day we did the draft, I did not think I was going to win. At no point in the year did I think I was going to win.
And it's because of
you were very confident too. At the
Wicked underperforming. I was so confident. I was cocky. And then Avatar Fire and Ash underperforming like crazy. If that didn't happen, again, Zootopia
I did not think Avatar would underperform. I called Wicked underperforming. I was like, I don't know. I don't know if it's going to make $1 billion again.
Well, Wicked, it made 750. I thought it was going to get, closer to that. I did say, I was like, maybe it gets over 800 mil. I apparently did not have an understanding of how the Wicked hype would drop off. But even that, I don't care about that. I just needed Avatar to deliver.
All you needed was Avatar.
If it had 1.5
billion. Avatar 2 came out, you beat my draft almost with Avatar alone. Avatar 2 alone.
It's kind of crazy.
which is how good that draft was for you and how bad it was for me. And so when you got Avatar this time, I think I phoned it in for the rest of my picks because I was like, he got Avatar, he's gonna beat me with Avatar again. This is just fun.
That's why you started going crazy with the riskier like Michael and Minecraft, which worked out. But yeah, Superman underperforming was tough, but all of them, it's like it doesn't matter. Avatar just needed to get even a fraction of what it normally gets, and then it would have been fine. 1.5 billion, I would have won. 1.6, I would have won. 1.7, I would have won. Doesn't matter what Zootopia 2 would have got. I would have won had it actually got to 1.5 billion.
Yeah.
In the time that we actually count the box office gross for the draft. So the fact that it didn't do that,
tragic. It didn't hit your floor in time. That's so sad.
What we do, because again, it made its total gross. Avatar 2 is like 2.3 billion. I think only 2.1 billion counted for the draft.
Yes.
So again, that speaks to how crazy it is with its late legs. So again,
still made 200 million after we.
Zootopia 2 is going to get to like 1.85 billion.
Yeah.
Maybe 1.9 billion. I don't know. We'll see how crazy China goes with it. But and then Avatar will get over 1.5 billion. But again, like the margin, if we come back 1 month later, it'll have increased in your favor. It'll be like a margin of 90 mil, something like that. So
yes, sir.
Wild. I just can't believe it. I can't bloody believe it. All the cards seem to have been played in my favor from the beginning. Winning that coin toss, getting Avatar on my team.
Man.
But no, I can't believe it. Again, I made peace with it. But dude, in January 10th, I was stunned. I was like, there's no way. Larry, there's no way. But there was a way. Zootopia 2 was a juggernaut. And Avatar, unfortunately, underperformed. A shocking turn of events. So yeah, again, we didn't cover at all in really December or January. Like our last episode was on Avatar before we took the hiatus. So none of this got tracked, but it would have been interesting to see like the tide turn of me getting more panicked and you getting more cocky as Avatar closes in, but not fast enough.
So I've been a real dick about it too.
I know. So I'm like, maybe it's a blessing.
So how are we standing now in the overall box office drafts? What are the standings looking like?
So we'll get to that. Let's do a little fun fact spree here.
Well, sure, fun facts.
For our box office draft. So as far as the closest margin of victory is, like I said, is the closest. Previously, it was 2023 with a margin of 433 million, which is wild. Man. That was the Barbenheimer year.
Yeah.
And we thought that one was going to be a a win for me at the beginning, but then tides turned. Yeah, astonishing finish there.
Don't ever count me out. Don't ever count me out. I've always got a second win in these drafts.
Apparently. And then as far as the draft winner had the highest grossing film on their roster for the 5th year in a row. So you had Zootopia 2. It's the highest grossing film.
Yep.
So once again, if you get the highest grossing film, it looks good. Again, we thought Avatar would be that at the beginning, but
yes, we did.
So. For the combined roster totals, let's go through this. You can help me out here. We can alternate. 2021 had 5.3 billion. Again, the pandemic factor suppressing it a bit.
And then when the pandemic sort of subsided, 2022, we jumped up, skyrocketed to 1.46 billion. That was the Avatar 2 year, I believe.
8.46 billion, yeah.
What did I say?
You said 1.46.
You know what I meant.
Yeah. 2023, I did, the audience. 2023, we took a step down. It had 7.48 billion.
And then following that in 2024, we had 8.18 billion thanks to Barbenheimer.
2024 was not Barbenheimer.
2024 was, what was 2024? Spider-Man? No. What came out last year that we jumped up? Or the 2 years ago, I guess.
Yeah, it was a couple years ago. We had a lot of good stuff. Let me pull out our 2024.
2023 was Barbenheimer. You're right.
Yeah, that was Inside Out 2.
Oh,
the big money maker. Right. And then Deadpool and Wolverine was also big.
Oh,
you had both of those. That's why you had a sizable gap there.
Hey, what can I say?
And then 2025, we have set a new record with our combined totals. It is now 9.051 billion.
Let's go.
So we dethroned 2022, which was a huge hit. Again, that didn't even have Top Gun Maverick. If we had Maverick on our team, that would have been maybe just shy of 10 billion, but that would have been crazy. So we're still trying to hit those highs. But yeah, new record set. As far as the winning tally, so your tally of 4.5 billion, it is the second highest so far. 2022, my 2022 total was 4.665 billion.
Yeah.
So we still haven't hit the 5 billion for one person's roster yet. We'll see if next year we can do that. We keep saying that, like, oh, next year we'll have the best chance. But next year we actually will have the best chance. So we'll see.
Next year we big.
We'll see what happens. I'm hoping we can hit 10 bill combined, and maybe someone gets 5 bill individually. Yeah, this year there were 3 films that grossed more than 1 billion. So that matches our record from 2024, where Inside Out 2, Deadpool, Wolverine, and Moana 2 all grossed 1 billion. And this is an exciting new stat. The number of films that grossed more than 750 million this year was 5. So that means we had 1 more in last year, but it's below the peak of 7 in 2022. Again, 2022 was crazy. It was
2022 was crazy,
but
big. A lot of the MCU was still relatively big at the time, and so they still had some big hits. That's why it was so crazy.
But the number of films below 500 million is 0 for the first time ever. Every film on the roster grossed at least 500 million.
That's awesome.
So that's pretty great. Again, last year it was 2 films had sub 500 million. If you remember, again, 2021 was wild because we had one crazy overperformance with Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And then all our other films, I mean, No Time to Die did great, but a lot of other films were getting like sub 200 million.
Yeah.
Ghostbusters Afterlife was sub 200 million. The Suicide Squad. Jungle Cruise only got 220 million. My Matrix Resurrections got 150 million. So it was bad. Like we were having...
That was brutal.
It was rough in the pandemic times. So now our picks, all of them made over 500 million. So that's...
Nature is healing.
That's pretty incredible. So yeah, fewer films getting over 750, but...
Yeah. The gap is getting bigger, which is interesting.
Finally, none of them fell below 500 mil. So that's pretty good. So as far as
we're getting a lot of movies in like the middle range, and like a lot of movies in like the giant range, and not any really in between. We got a lot in the 500 to 600 million range, and then everything else is like over $1 billion, and there's not really anything between 700 to 900.
Yeah, every single year there's been at least one crazy overperformance.
Yeah,
and then maybe a few that hit that like 900 to 1 bill range. And then, this past year, a lot more in the middle of the pack.
Typical performance is between 500 and 600 million. Is my own interpretation of the last few years.
Yeah, All right. So as far as box office drafts, you are now the crown holder.
Correct.
You've won 3.
Correct.
Each of the last 3, 2023, 2024, and 2025.
What's happening, Ryan?
Very upsetting to me because 2023 was BS. If Dune hadn't gotten pushed, I would have won that year.
Nah, that's not BS. I had Barbenheimer.
Yes. 2024, that was all you. That was just you had the
pure dumb fucking luck.
Better pick. Yeah. And in 2025,
but that really dumb luck.
Also
really dumb fucking luck.
Again, had you kept Mission Impossible instead of F1, it wouldn't have changed anything. We don't know the Michael factor. Who knows? Yeah. But it was just Zootopia. It was able to bring it home for you.
I still think, just looking at 2021 and 2022, the 2 years you won because you had Spider-Man, and then you won because of Avatar. And they were both really fucking big movies. And I think I got pissed off. I got pissed off that you kept picking these giant films and winning because of them. And I said, never again. I'm putting in big research, and I'm never losing this again. So 2026.
It's not true. You come in back with some good research, but
I get some dumb luck sometimes.
Just the luck of the draw of some of them. Again, your Barbie pick was great. The Oppenheimer thing is what pisses me off. And again, the Dune. Because if you had Oppenheimer and I had Dune, I still would have won. I still would have won that year. So that just pisses me off. But your Barbie pick is still the best pick of any draft. That is the greatest pick. Good. It was 5th place and ended up being number 1 of the year. That's insane. Yeah. That was incredible. In 2024, you had Inside Out 2 and Deadpool.
Inside Out 2 is a good pick.
That was, that was just great. Yeah, 2024.
I've got some good picks in here.
2025, again, I was like,
hey man, Zootopia 2 is a good pick.
You guys picking nonsense. Zootopia for sure. Yeah, we knew there's always that pick. It was going to be Avatar and Zootopia as the top 2.
Yes, it's true. I just happened to get lucky that for the top 2, you ended up getting fucked on accident because Big Jim couldn't pull out. It's too bad.
Big Jim's going to come after you for you saying that. You're like, what?
Let's see what happens with Avatar 4, baby. Drop it. If you can if he makes over 1.6 billion on Avatar 4, if they end up dropping it, I'll eat my fucking words.
Okay, we'll make that happen. The wait a few years.
1.6 is doable.
It is 100%.
It's absolutely doable. But he's got to pull out all the stops. He's got to actually market the fucking thing. I feel like Avatar 3 didn't have that much marketing.
And as far as
not maybe internationally it did, but not here.
As far as the Oscar drafts, it's looking like it's going to be the same story. So I think it's 3-1 right now in my favor. And this year it'll be 4-1.
Yeah, I'm not good at the Oscar drafts.
Which is funny because that was your home turf, and box office is my home turf. So what's going on? I don't get this.
I don't know either. I'm not good at the Oscar drafts, man.
No.
You keep winning the coin toss too. It pisses me off. This is the third. This Oscar draft is the 3rd draft in a row. I think you've won the coin toss.
Yeah, but the coin toss doesn't. Again, it's these other factors.
It didn't help you last time.
Coin toss didn't help me this year. You lost one of the ones that we had a coin toss. So yeah, it's unknown. I think Everything Ever All at Once year, because that was on the table. I could have picked it. I should have picked it. I went somewhere different, and then you ended up cleaning house that year.
It's the only time I ever won the Oscar draft. I'm pissed. Yeah. But I'm just not good at it. I don't know. I guess I just don't think about the the below the line awards as much.
It just comes down to it. You just have to hope that things swing your way. I thought you would have done worse. I thought Begonia wasn't going to get anything, but you got some nominations there. So
yeah, but Jay Kelly fucking snubbed.
Yeah, well, that one I saw coming. I don't know why you picked that. That was kind of crazy.
I thought,
but the replacement pick, I would have thought would have done better, which would have been it was just an accident. That's what I would have picked instead of that, and that didn't do too well either. But we'll go over that.
It's better than I thought it would.
We'll go over that in our Oscar predictions / Oscar draft update. But barring an insane Sinners over performance, it'll go my way.
Yeah. What do you think though? It's been over 3 years since you last won a box office draft. How does that feel? 3 in a row is pretty good. Have either of us won 3 drafts in a row?
Consecutively of one single item? No.
Yeah.
I mean, I won the first 3 drafts.
Yes. And I was mad about that. I was real mad about that.
Then I think you won the next 3 maybe. But then, it's about to be where you have won the last 3 box office and I will have won the last 3 Oscars. So
we'll see.
It'll be time to shake things up.
We'll see if Hamnet comes in clutch at the last second.
Who will keep their streak alive? Yeah, 2026 will be an interesting year because I thought this one, I thought easy. Avatar, I get it, and then I'm home. This would be easy. Yeah. 2026 is going to be a harder year because it's even more way more blockbusters, way more different types of like franchise films.
Yeah.
So who knows what's going to happen? Dude, that'll be an exciting draft. Though,
I'm so hyped now. This is awesome. 3 in a row is crazy. Yeah. I didn't think I'd ever win one of these. When you won the first 2 in a row, I was like, why do I even do this? I'm not going to win.
I know you're like,
I was mad when we got into 2023 because we did the 2023 box office draft. At that point, you had won two of the box office drafts and an Oscar draft, and I was like, why am I even doing this? Like, I'm just not going to win ever. I was like, this is a stupid thing that we're doing. We should just stop doing it. I'm pissed. I never win. This is dumb. I didn't think I'd win one of these. When Barbenheimer happened, I was like, I guess I got lucky. I got one. Barbie was a good pick, and then I swiped Oppenheimer for a trade at the last second. So I guess I made the right call there. And I just never thought I was going to win another one. And then last year, I thought you were going to win again. And then this year, I was like definitely phoning it in. I was like, this is not going to happen. This is crazy. I'm definitely hyped. This is awesome.
Yeah. So 2026, I'm going to try and come back with a vengeance. We need to.
What are you going to do if I win 4 in a row? What's going to happen?
I'll be annoyed, but then I'll just win the Oscar draft and then keep things steady,
Fuck you, man. I got to win another one of those. I'm mad that I've only won one. And it was out of pure dumb luck of picking.
I'm mad that you have more wins in the box office draft. This is crazy. So next year, got to shake things up. But again, it'll be perhaps our most interesting year yet.
If I trade you one of my box office wins, will you give me an Oscar win? Can we trade my currency? We still have to make a crown and a belt.
Yeah.
Because the crown would be for the Oscar draft and the belt would be for the box office draft.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, your dumb ass is never touching that belt.
Have an award for the Oscar thing. I'm getting that belt back next year.
Oh, you're never getting that belt back. I've had that belt for 3 straight years, baby. I'm a champ for 3 years, baby. I'm like Lightning McQueen in this motherfucker.
Well, you know what happened in Cars 3.
I didn't see Cars 3.
To the side. You didn't see it?
Well, I didn't see Cars 3, no. I saw Cars 2 where Mary was a spy.
Getting put in retirement, buddy. That's what's going to happen.
Nope. Not going to happen.
In 2 weeks' time, we'll return and do our 2026 box office draft. So stay tuned.
Yeah, do fucking research. You might get me this year just because I don't know if I have enough time to do research. I'm so busy. You might sneak up on me because of this one. And that's the only reason why. If you win, that's the reason why.
No.
Well, today was a good day. Today was a better day than I thought it would be. I thought I was going to come into this because I didn't do the math. I didn't look up the numbers. I thought I was going to walk in and lose. So,
which is good. Yeah, you shouldn't do the math because the surprises
are more
fun
this way. Yeah, this was good. This is a good show. This is a good episode. I was really devastated after the Oscar nominations came out, but now I'm back in the doing good. I put a stop to your streak, which is good. Because you were going to do Oscar, and then I thought you were going to get this box office draft and then the next Oscar. So I wanted to end your streak.
That would have been dope, but alas.
Yeah, no, it feels good to cut that short. It feels very good.
Well, don't worry. In 3 weeks, we'll do the Oscar draft update, and then I can start gloating again. But that one will also be, I don't think it'll be very close in the actual wins, but not too bad as far as nominations are concerned for both sides.
Really?
High performance.
Yeah. But I think you still have point-wise more than I do by quite a bit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Which sucks. Fucking one battle after another. I mean, Sinners was a good choice for nominations. Very good. It was. We'll see how many wins it gets. If Sinners and Hamnet come in clutch and just steal a bunch from one battle after another,
not happening. But it's not gonna happen. We'll talk about it. We'll talk.
We'll talk about it.
But all right, congrats again, Dylan. Again, a nail biter. That's what's most exciting. Like that, I like that. Again, I'm still angry at the Dune thing, but the Barbie pick again was clutch. That was pretty amazing, and the Oppenheimer move was smart. For this one though, what an exciting finish! Like it came down to the wire.
Really did.
Closest margin yet. Like that's awesome. That's the best you can hope for. Yeah,
good show. Good game.
Exactly. Good game, mate.
Good game. That's all the time we have. If you'd like to give your thoughts on the show, you can email us at theboxofficeshowpod@gmail.com.
Our main title theme for the show is Sundown by Joseph McDade.
If you like the show, please give us 5 stars on whatever podcast app you're listening to, and be sure to tune in next week. Have a great rest of your day.